everyone for joining us today for the webinar with Visible Builder, with a name that many of you recognize, our beloved Dennis Schaefer. He's going to take over here in just a second, but I want to just let you know a little bit about Visible Builder. As you all know, Jody and I are always looking at new vendors in different spaces, and Dennis has started Visible Builder that is a really great way to get you in the social media realm. I know it's a space that a lot of people are uncomfortable with or simply just don't have the time for. And Dennis has really made it a simple process for you as a business owner. So he's going to go over what Visible Builder is and how it can make you more visible in social online. One thing is you all are not muted. So if you're, Dennis has done that so you can ask questions throughout the presentation, but just make a note of that if you are making noise or having side conversations, we can hear you. So just mute yourself throughout the presentation unless you have a question. Dennis?
Thank you so much. Yeah, that way, I'm glad you told him about the muting. That way, there's no embarrassment there. So I will not be muting, but feel free through the process as we're going through this to ask a question as we're going through the presentation. Where this idea came from, a lot of it came from you guys, but there's no royalties. Don't ask for any royalties. When I was there and when I was working with other companies, but also at the conferences and the shows, this was a constant conversation, constant topic, and I felt that there was a problem because the people that were solving the issue were technical people in the computer industry, and talking with us, the builders, that didn't understand anything that we're saying, and they didn't understand what we went through on a daily basis. So there was this disconnect. So that's where I thought that there was a great opportunity to create a system that would fill that. So I'm going to play this from all these conversations I had. Visible Builder became an idea for me, and I want to show you a videotape of kind of shows what this is all about. Okay, so that kind of goes over in regards to what the Visible Builder is doing and the platforms we're hitting. But what we're going to talk about today, too, is the platforms that were chosen and the reason they were chosen. So even if you're on the line and you decide Visible Builder is not for you, or you want to be doing some of this on your own, you can really have some great takeaways today for the platforms that I feel and industry feelers are important and why it's important. So, as you know, with all the things you have to do as being a builder and project manager and permit runner and everything else, that it's hard to find time to update and create all of these different profiles that are in the social platforms of home improvement. They're all important though, and we'll be talking about a little bit, I don't want to take a lot of your time today, but a little bit about each one of these and why they're important. Let me go back for a second. Along with that service of creating these and maintaining these, there's reputation monitoring. And it's not reputation like fixing things for you, it's monitoring the internet in regards to things that are being said about your company. So if there is a negative comment being made out there or whatever, you'll be made aware with suggestions of how to handle it, how to go after it. Online registration for local search is part of this, monitoring Google Places. And one of the more important things is harvesting client testimonials, the reviews. As you probably are reading and you're probably noticing, and also probably the way you use the internet, you're probably looking at the reviews online, and it's getting more and more important. They're really the referrals of right now are these reviews. Most people look at them and believe them, and so it's important that that's part of this process. Here's Porch. If you haven't heard of Porch before, it's a very important social platform that's out there. Now, this is Archadeck of Western North Carolina with Hugh. You came on with me in the first couple of months, and so this is one of the profiles we've created for him. Porch is important because of a couple of things. One, it's being used greatly by the people out there searching for different products, but now it's in all the Lowe's stores. They've created a partnership with Lowe's that there's a kiosk. If it's not in there yet, it'll be in there over the next 6 months. In all 1,700 plus stores that will have the Porch website there, and people can go on there and look for deck builders or pergola builders or whatever, and that's why it's important to be part of Porch and keep that updated. And remember, as we're going through this, any questions at all, if you're like, have any questions about BuildZoom, which is coming up right now, or Porch, please don't hesitate to ask. BuildZoom. This one's a very important one also, only because you're probably already there and you already have a score. This right here, this 105 for this particular one. I did a search through BuildZoom of Archadecks in the U.S. and most of your offices showed up. Archadeck of West Columbus, which I'm working with Mike Reeder on his, is at the top of the list of Archadecks in regards to the score that BuildZoom has given him. You can see just slightly below that, couldn't show the whole page of all of them on there, but 94 is the next closest from Piedmont Triad. So having this on there, this scoring process, I'm going to go through you what happens with the scoring. It's not scored on how good your company builds, how much your customers love you. Yes. So someone was asking a question. Someone's mic must be on. I apologize. If anyone joined after we started, we're not going to do a complete mute. So if you'd like to have your microphone muted, just go ahead and do it on your own, or ask any questions along the way. Now, with Archadeck of West Columbus, like I said, they got a 105, but how it's graded in BuildZoom is how well you update your profile with pictures, with reviews, getting people to come on there and review, with a lot of different things that ask you to do. That's how that score goes up. And if everyone can check their microphones on there's one that's coming through that I don't think you know that it's not been muted. So if everyone can make sure that their microphones are muted if they don't have a question. Thanks. So anyways, we're looking at why this is so important. Archadeck of West Columbus has a BuildZoom score. When I first took on Mike Reeder's account, they had a score of below 90, and we were able to bring it up to the 105, which a customer is going to see the 95%, that they were the best of the 95% of the 52,000 in the Columbus area. They're also going to see all the projects that were done in that area in the last few years. These are records that are part of BuildZoom. It also has a map. The map shows the different areas of where these projects are going. Was anyone aware that this was even out there? You can unmute your phone and let me know if you've used this before.
No.
Okay. Like I said, this is a lot of these, and that's the job of Visible Builders, to go out there and find the different platforms, because there's going to be new ones. I mean, there's Facebook, of course, right now, and some other ones, but there's going to be new ones, and we'll keep up to date on what those new ones are. Of course, House is a big platform for the home improvement industry. The big thing about House, though, is to get reviews. And that's where we were talking about earlier, that Visible Builder will go out there and get those testimonials. Is anyone else hearing background noise? I apologize.
I am, Dennis. Can everyone just make sure that their phone is muted, unless you have a question?
I think we're set. You still there, Jane?
Yeah, I'm
It
still
looks like
hearing
Jim
an echo.
Klingbeil's audio is on. It keeps coming up.
Okay. Hey, Jim, if you're there, can you check and see if you've muted your mic on your computer?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I can. Yes, I can. Let me try this. Hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Jim, okay? I think that took care of it. Did that take care of it for the people that were talking?
It did.
Very good. Cool. Okay, so we're talking about House and how important House is. Now, this is a great social platform for showing pictures, and that's what we're in, showing these visuals of how great the outdoor projects that we do and so forth. So this is a company that I'm working with, and they've got 3 reviews down here. They've got 2 House badges. One is Best of House 2014, and that has to do with how many reviews you're getting and how many times you put pictures on. As soon as we get those badges, we'll then put them on your Facebook page so that we're using different forms of the social in different forms of social. I mean, it's really nice to show on your Facebook page that you've just been received the badge for Best of House 2014. And then here are your reviews over to this side that we're going out and harvesting for them to come to the page and give these reviews. And here is all the information that those people are putting in. You can see that there's just so much going on in social. And it's all important because this is where people are shopping now. They're looking to find who they're going to use for these services, who they're going to let into their home. This is an important process. Merchant Circle, not a keen fan of Merchant Circle, but it's out there, and it's something that people are using. I'm checking the analytics on that. They're going to it. So if they go to it and they see that this business is not claimed, and this is in the Chicagoland area, then this is something that we would be going and claiming that and updating it. As in Columbus, and we can put the proper website down, so it goes directly to your website, all the proper information's there and so forth. And then Zillow. Zillow is known in the real estate market in regards to getting house values and what houses are for sale, but they're changing their model and they're bringing in a pro section that will allow, such as Archadeck of Western North Carolina, a profile in there, and then also they'll be getting reviews through this process also. So, and I really don't need to go through much of this with you. You probably already know it, that small business owners are planning to do more and more in social because more than anything else, they have to. That's where the clients are at. That's where the customers are at. It's definitely where our future customers are at. So it's not anything that's going to go away. It may change looks. It may change names, but it's not going to go away. It's something that it'll be there continuously. So in regards to Visible Builder, what we do is we create, update, and maintain. So if you don't have a Twitter account or a LinkedIn account or House, I don't want you to sit there and go, oh, I got to do all this stuff to get it set up. We'll create it for you. We'll update it for you, and we'll maintain it. These are the platforms that we're using right now. They may change. It may be that Merchant Circle kind of fades off to the distance and a newer, more up-to-date platform comes into play, and we'll bring that into play also. So we'll do 2 posts per week on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We'll do the monthly updates on the other platforms. We talked about the we're doing the profiles, and it's not an additional cost. Reputation monitoring, the local search assistance, and the testimonial harvesting, which I can't say enough. I think the saying social media management gets everyone's attention and gets them to come to a webinar here, but my personal feeling, this is one of the most important processes that Visible Builder does. Now to the easy part. It's a matter of one of the key things as I talk to people is they don't have the time for meetings to get all the information. They don't have time to gather all the information and make posts. So what I created when Visible Builder was originated was an easy method for you to get the information in less than 10-15 minutes time once a month. And let me I'll go through that, how that happens. You will receive an email that it looks just like this, where you go to the link and you can put up a picture or pictures. You can write in a paragraph or 5 paragraphs or 10 paragraphs of the monthly stuff that you're doing. And then you're feeling where the testimonials go in. I'm hearing another background, guys, so if maybe someone bumped it and came back on, let me know. Let me see if I can go over to the control panel. I think I'm going to go ahead and mute all so we don't have to deal with some of the background noise, and then I'll unmute it a little bit later on so we can ask questions. I apologize. So anyways, what we're talking about, this link that comes to you, you'll get a notice 7 days before your update. If the website doesn't hear from you, it'll remind you 4 days later. If it doesn't hear from you again, it'll remind you 2 days later. And so that sometimes it's just too busy to get to it. If for some reason you're too busy for that month and you're not able to get the update, all the updates on your Facebook, the posts and all that will still continue. And it'll be very relevant posts, but they just won't be as personalized as if you gave the information. Doesn't mean that you won't still be staying relevant. It just means that it won't be as personalized like we said. But I'll show you why that's so important. Here is an update from one of the clients that has the 4 pictures they updated, put in what they did over the last month, and then also put in the testimonial information, which is the name of the customer, email address, and phone number. And it turned into this post, 1 of 8 for the month, but it shows a very local hometown feel to the post from Fournier Home Enhancement. And they had 8 likes and comments in regards to this post, and that's what we're going for. We're looking for interaction, and they interact with the posts that are more local. Now, this is the service that you're currently doing, I think, from the main office doing for you each week, and it's a very good service because it keeps things going, but it's more generic, and that those generic will keep going and mix in with the ones that we'll be doing, but these are a very effective form of interaction on the post page. Here's one for Hugh that we had built for him, and Hugh, when he started out, I think he had 1 or 2 likes on his Facebook page. Through what we've been doing, we've been able to build it over a few months. It's up over, I think, 50 or 60. Already got his first review on Facebook. But you can see how it's personalized. It's North Carolina's premier outdoor living contractor. It just isn't generic. Another one that we had done for him was to get people to get to his website, which again is an important process. Here's one we did for Columbus. And things like this, which we got from the update that was sent in that they just received the A+ rating. We put it into a very likable post, but also getting that information out there. Here's one here for Columbus area that just has a cool feature in that area, and people are talking about how it's the best, that's where they work, and it's great to take a walk around there. It's a conversation. It doesn't talk about decks or outdoor living, but you can see how it all kind of interconnects. That's why it's so important to have this conversation. And one of the things you got to realize is as you're building the likes and this audience in Facebook or these other forms of social, as Jane had told, we talked about earlier, it's a marketing database at a click of a finger. If you've got something that you want, a special that you want out there, you can put that post up, or you can let us know you'd like a post during that month on a special, and it goes directly to these people and their friends as they like it and so forth. That's when it gets kind of viral. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. There's another company with Fournier where it's got, I think I even liked it there, where it's got a lot of interaction, a lot of people liking it. This is every time with this person here, when they liked this post and made this comment, all their friends and family that most likely live in the area seen it too. Someone that might need a tile floor. That's what this is, the importance of this is, and how it means business. One of the things we do when we set up a new member is we go to their Facebook page and we create, we take one of the apps, one of the tabs, and we create a button right on the Facebook page to start getting leads. So that if they don't want to go to the website to fill out a form, they don't have to leave this page. They can go click that button, goes directly to this page within the Facebook page, fill out very quickly, easily, and send it. It comes directly to the email that you've submitted, so you can get directly to that client. So that's an important feature that we do when we're setting up we're reconfiguring the Facebook page. This is a message from you that I got a couple of months after we got going, which I love to see. But he didn't do anything different this year than us, Visible Builder. And we're seeing phenomenal results, and wanted to send me a note to say thanks. And it was greatly appreciated in regards to, when someone reaches out. We all know those compliments and testimonials mean a lot, not only for business, but to validate what we do. So with Outdoor Living Brands, what we've done is working with Rob and with Jane, we've come up with a plan for all the Outdoor Living brands that gives it a little bit of a twist to our regular registration. When you go to Visible Builder and register, there is the Outdoor Living Brands logo, and you click here. When you click on that, it will take you to the page signing up for Outdoor Living Brands. You'll notice here that the regular price for the service is $295 a month. It's a different price. Yeah, we raised it for a while. What we did was we broke it in a couple of different ways to fit the cash flow model of our industry. So there is a savings of almost like a month savings for the total year, but it's broken down into being billed $350 a month, March through November, then $50 a month, December through February. So those low cash flow months of December, January, February, there is the very minimal payment to keep the process going. Now the work's going to be the same 8 posts, same keeping everything up to date during a very important part of the year when people are really starting their shopping and kind of narrowing in to who they want to talk to in the spring. You will be relevant. And a lot of companies in our industry kind of hibernate. Visible Builder will keep that going, but keep it going at a lesser amount so it doesn't tax the cash flow during that time frame. So it is a savings overall, and it also is a broken out structure in regards to how those monthly payments go. Any of the Outdoor Living franchisees that sign up this October will be going October, November at the $350 and automatically going into the $50 a month for those 3 months. At the end of October, it will just be $350 throughout, and then $50 a month the next January and February. Because of the fact there's so much work that goes into setting all these accounts up, I want to leave the window open for this month for all franchisees to take advantage of that. So as we were talking, about the time and how much time it takes, how important and what we do, this is, again, just a refresher of what Visible Builder, all the different platforms, can't highlight enough the client testimonials, how important that is. The last thing I want to kind of talk about is the social assets, the social footprint that you've seen in that video. I strongly believe that, about 6-7 years ago, I sold a company, and one of the things that was part of the process was a term called goodwill. It was your customer list, how long you've been in business, how customers thought about you. It was an item that was given a value, goodwill. I really think it's changing now, and definitely in the future, that's going to change to social assets and a social footprint. How many likes do you have on Facebook? How much following do you have on Pinterest, House, and so forth? That's going to become a valued asset within the business. Because I know myself, if I was looking, and even think yourselves, if you were looking at buying a business, you'd go online first. If you've seen it didn't have a Facebook page, or their website wasn't up to date, or any of that other, they're behind the times. You've got a lot of work in front of you. To get that back up, you can buy it for a deal. If you go to a page, a Facebook page in these social platforms, and they're up to date, they're managed, and that they've got things going in the right direction, you won't have a lot of work when you get in there, and you'll have a captive social audience as soon as you take it over. So I bring that up because a lot of people that I've talked to when I was with Archadeck are looking down the road to sell their business. And if you are, this is an important part of it. Whether you work with Visible Builder or you do it on your own, you need to put together those social assets. Make sure that you're going to be able to be seen out there. So there is my contact information, my phone number, my email address. I'm going to go ahead and unmute all. Everyone's unmuted. If you have any questions at this time. Someone's got a loud computer going. Yes.
This is Ed Repack. How are you?
Hey, Ed, how are you?
I'm good. I know a few people have commented or wondered how if they're using Robin Steele. I think that they questioned that this would almost be an alternative, and if I understand it, it's more of something that complements it.
It really is.
Comment on that.
I've actually, is it Phelan? F-A-H-L-A-N? I'm going to go ahead and mute just for a second. I think that's where the back, okay. I talked to Robin over the last year in regards to this. It is two separate things. What Robin specializes in is SEO for the website, blogs, which are extremely important. Her and Rob made me realize that when I was at Archadeck, how important blogs were. That's what her specialty is, and it's an essential for your the SEO of the website and your blogging and so forth. This is a different part of online and social. So it's not an overlap. And I know that Robin was working on programs that if you wanted her to just do the SEO and the blogging and so forth and take the social component she has out of the monthly, that's something you can work with her on. But yeah, I've been in contact with Robin in regards to that. And she does a really good job, by the way, on SEO. Oh, one other thing too, this is month to month. This is not a contract. So if at the end of a couple of months you're like, I just don't see it, don't continue it. There's no contract at all. I feel extremely confident in what I put together here, that Visible Builders and be able to be a strong tool for you to grow your business. And if it's not the kind of tool you want, well, no problem. Any other questions?
This is Jim Fenley.
Hey, Jim.
Concerning BuildZoom, you implied they already have a profile on us. How does BuildZoom find out about our projects?
What they do is they have your builder's license number. That builder license number is put into the local municipality when a permit is pulled and is associated with your number. So it will show how many jobs, what jobs are out there on your information.
So that's where they get the contract price and description of the project.
No, well, yeah, I know in Michigan, when I pull a permit, I have to put down the job, what the job is, and also how much the job is, because a lot of municipalities charge their permit fees on cost of the job or percentage of it. That's where they get that. I didn't even realize it was public knowledge, but it is. But you see how important BuildZoom is. You're already being graded out there, and it isn't even on quality. I don't condone what BuildZoom does. It's there. It needs to be handled. You know, you need to have a profile, and you need to make sure it's maintained. Any other questions on any of the social platforms? Anything that you think as Visible Builder that we missed? Anything you're like, I don't like that. I can take it, but I want to make sure that I put a product out there that is what people are looking for. I've had great success with the people that have already come on, but is there anything you say on there that I missed?
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
This is Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, thanks for doing the demo today. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
I just would like you to talk to the group just briefly, and you may have done it already because I came into the webinar just a few minutes late. But one of the things that I think is so impressive is the flexibility of the system. Right now, you're interacting with, several different service providers, but this landscape is so fluid that your platform has the ability to change and add additional service providers in the future. Is that correct?
That's correct. As the next porch or BuildZoom becomes available out there, we're going to be able to switch over or add that in to this whole platform. The other thing too, Rob, and I'm glad you brought that up, one of the things I remember talking to a lot of people was that, especially when it came to the technical stuff, you pay monthly and you really didn't know what you were getting. I just came from the phase 2 of Visible Builder. The second phase of it is being launched in about 2 weeks. And with that second phase, it'll be an automated reporting. So every time your monthly is put together, the amount of posts and what was done for you and everything else, when that's done, it will launch a report to you automatically of what was done. So you'll be able to validate, okay, I'm paying, $3,000 for the year. I get these 12 reports. Look what I was done during that 12. Is it got value to me? And if it does, you continue it. If it doesn't, you don't. But I wanted to make sure that there was, what is that great word everyone throwing around? Transparency.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none. Like I said, my information's right there. Don't hesitate to email me. Don't hesitate to give me a call. Even if you just have some questions on social media. I think you can tell I like the platform. I have no problem talking to you about it, even as not a member of Visible Builder. So keep my number and information as a resource. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.